Well, we're in Union Square Park. It took us a couple of months to get the South permit for the South Plaza. I was here every day begging them for some space. This is my son's project. My son, Nicholas, is an 82nd Airborne Ranger with the U.S. Army. He served for 4 years, from 1998 to 2002. We have about 57 panels or 56 panels laminated. On each panel there are 18 8.5 by 11 photos. It has a picture, a colored photo of the soldier. It has their hometown, their age, and the number, who their survivors were. For the 18 and 19-year-olds, many of the survivors are their parents, their brothers and sisters. For the 20 to 22-year-olds, it's very frequently their fiancé or their wife pregnant with their first child, or it's their 4-year-old. With the 24, 26-year-olds, lots of them, mostly in that age, mostly from 18 to 26 is what I see. I've been living with these photos for the last 2 months. A lot of those left behind, their 6-year-old, their 4-year-old, their wife pregnant. So it's putting a human face on not only the people that died, but on the grief of their survivors. Many people have come up looking for friends of theirs. One guy said he lost his best friend Christmas Eve, and he found the photo of that. Another woman came crying, looking for her girlfriend. She didn't know whether her picture was there or not. What I feel as a mom, what I would hope as a mother, is that if we are deciding whether we're Republicans or Democrats to go to war, that I don't care what country you are, if our government is thinking about going to war for any reason, keep the human cost in your mind, in the forefront of your mind, and know that you must have honest and compelling reasons to allow the human cost to be so great. At least make sure you have honest reasons, compelling reasons. When these kids decide to go to war and decide to sacrifice, let's look after their families. Let's look after their families while they're away. Let's, at least, if they come home, let's make sure that we take care of our veterans. If they don't come home, as you see here, none of these people, if you don't come home, make sure you look after their families. We'll be here the next 2 Fridays, and maybe we'll extend it. My son feels it's important to be here.
This is CBS 2 News at noon. Tomorrow marks the 3rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. It'll be a somber day of reflection and tributes beginning early tomorrow morning at Ground Zero. CBS 2's Reed Lamberty is downtown right now. Reed, good afternoon.
Maurice, good afternoon to you. A lot of events actually happening today across town in Union Square. A sobering reminder that the loss of lives from the attacks of 9/11 still reverberate today. More than 1,000 U.S. soldiers have been killed in the resulting war on terror.
We need to hold in front of us these faces every day that we continue to wage war.
You're watching Fox 5 News at 10.
Linda, a former U.S. Army Ranger, is helping New Yorkers remember the fallen soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's in Union Square. About 1,000 cards representing each American soldier killed in combat is on display. Each photograph has a biography and the names of the families left behind. The memorial was unveiled by Nicholas Cohen. He's an infantry officer from the 82nd Airborne.
Thursday, November 25th.
This is the WB11 News at 10. The one-of-a-kind memorial on display today in Union Square honoring the fallen. The memorial, designed by a former Army Ranger and native New Yorker, honors Americans who've been killed in Afghanistan and Iraq. It features a photograph of each soldier and includes his or her name, age, hometown, as well as the date of their death and the names of family members they left behind. Photographs, new ones, are unfortunately added to the exhibit on a weekly basis. The memorial will be displayed at various locations around the country as long as Americans are deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
6:48 this Saturday morning, a New York City man on a mission this holiday season to remember every soldier killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's created a traveling photo memorial called Honor the Fallen. Nicholas Cohen is here to share his story this morning, a former Army Ranger, First Lieutenant Nicholas Cohen. Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here with us this morning. We've actually met before on September 10th. I did a story on this, in part on this display at Union Square Park. You have been back to Union Square Park several times, including on Thanksgiving Day. Describe what this is.
This is the Honor the Fallen Memorial. This features 71 panels, which include all 1,367 Americans who have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
So it includes both wars in both countries. Obviously, that takes a lot of homework on your part. Are you checking every day? And how do you get these pictures, get the information about them?
I have a website. It's honorthefallen.net. And from that website, you can link to militarycity.com, which is the website where all of the AP articles are posted and all of the photos are posted for all of the American casualties, and that's where I've been getting the information.
You, obviously a former Army Ranger, you did your time. Why, was that part of the reason you got involved in this project and started this project?
Well, I left the service in 2002, and the first time I became involved as a civilian with American soldiers was during Christmas of 2002 when the 82nd Airborne Division went to Afghanistan, and I started a pen pal project for the soldiers who had deployed, because there was a fear that I sensed from them that their country maybe wasn't certain that that their country really wasn't aware of what they were doing and maybe not supporting them 100%. So I wanted to let American soldiers know that their country was behind them.
And this obviously puts a face on, and this humanizes, of course, the men and women serving over there. Is the reason to just keep their memories alive and keep the memories of those soldiers who are currently serving alive so that we don't forget? Is that kind of the catalyst behind this project?
Yes, the idea behind the project is to honor all of the American men and women who are serving and who have died, who have sacrificed their lives for our country. And when you go to the exhibit, there's no political message there. There's just looking at faces of soldiers who have died and thanking them for their sacrifice.
Reaction from the public?
Almost everyone who comes to the exhibit walks away with tears in their eyes. There's no really variance from that. People are moved by the exhibit and they want to know how they can help and become involved.
You also recently had this display on Veterans Day as well. What's the reaction been from veterans, separated from the public?
Actually, we have a lot of veterans who are volunteering with the memorial and helping us display it every time we're out there. We have a lot of people who come out and who look for family members or who look for other soldiers who served with them and who are now no longer with us.
How long will this display be available for the public to view?
This memorial will display for as long as Americans are engaged in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And is there any way that average Joe, someone watching at home, can help out?
The best way you can help out is to log on to our website, honorthefallen.net, and you can find ways to contribute, to volunteer, and you'll see where we're going to be exhibiting next.
All right, Nicholas Cohen, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you.
Union Square plays host to a one-of-a-kind memorial honoring Americans who've been killed in Afghanistan and Iraq. The Honor the Fallen Memorial features pictures and biographical information on each one of the nearly 1,500 people who have died in both conflicts. It's designed by Nicholas Cohen, a native New Yorker and former Army Ranger. The memorial first appeared on September 10th. Since then, it's been updated every week with new pictures. Its creator says he'll display it at locations around the country as long as there are still Americans deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. There are currently 1,443 photographs in the memorial.
right now on Fox 5 News at 10.
For this Christmas Day, we remember 1,446 soldiers who won't be home for the holidays. They gave their lives for our country in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Honor the Fallen Memorial was on display in Union Square today. It features a picture and short biography of each American killed overseas. The memorial has been displayed at places around the country since September and will continue to be displayed until the troops come home.
Army PFC Cole W. Larson, 19, of Canyon County, California.
Marine Lance Corporal Nicholas D. Larson, 19, of
First Lieutenant Michael R. Adams. Army Navy Lieutenant Thomas Mullen Adams.
Army Private First Class Daniel F. Gustafaro, age 27, of Las Vegas.
Army Sergeant David T. Frederick, 26, of Hammond, New York.
Air Force Captain Eric B. Daz, 30, of Amarillo, Texas. Army Specialist Sean M. Davis, 22, of Alquipa, Pennsylvania.
To quote Margaret Mead, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." I would like to welcome you here today to our memorial service to honor the fallen soldiers who have died in Iraq and Afghanistan. We have an incredible photographic exhibit, 1,600 copies that were donated by the VFW, professionally printed posters, a gorgeous banner from the Peconic Sign Company, a huge American Legion Hall, and wonderful members of the clergy, and the support of so many people from the North Fork community. From the inception, we have had the wind behind our backs. One of the committee members spotted Nick Cohen's exhibit in Union Square on the internet, and we decided to contact him about whether he had the photos on a disc. Nick graciously offered to loan us his exhibit. We asked Nick to come to our vigil and talk about the exhibit, which he will do in a short while. There will be, and there has been, 800 vigils across the country this weekend to honor the fallen American soldiers who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. What we have done today is to replace the mind-numbing statistics with the reality of the loss of human life. The faces you see on the panels were real human beings with aspirations, dreams, and hopes. We hope you will remember these faces you see on the panels in this room, and when you hear of the next fallen soldier, you will never again think of him or her as just a statistic.
On behalf of the United Methodist Church and the people of the United Methodist Church here, I do want to welcome you. It's really an honor and privilege to host this gathering. I've been really impressed with the dedication and commitment of the people who've organized this and the hard work that went into it. I didn't realize how many hours it would take to assemble all of this. I've been a pastor for over 40 years and have handled funerals with no problem, no professional objective. But I have to tell you that in the last day, having to walk through this fellowship hall time and time again as I go back and forth, I have been unable to walk through that room without tearing up. It has impacted me more than anything that I've ever experienced. You look at those faces and you see children, young men, women, sons and daughters, fathers, mothers. It's just overwhelming.
There are many things that shape my identity. but ultimately I am an old country preacher raised in rural Arkansas by his grandmother and her friends. And in the time of trouble, she would sing a hymn when she could do nothing else. So there is a hymn that some of you might be familiar with, and it simply goes, Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Welcome to the Sunday platform of the Ethical Humanist Society of Long Island. My name is Ann Clayson. I'm the leader here. Our society was founded in 1950 and is part of the 127-year-old ethical culture movement. Each Sunday we offer a moment of quiet from the loud and busy week. You might think about your life, remember those people important to you, and ask whether you're not the best in your world. And occasionally I will light candles, and I do so today in remembrance of the soldiers whose photographs you see here, the civilians in Afghanistan and Iraq, and all their mothers. Our question this morning is, in what ways do you work for peace? And those of you who saw my column in this month's newsletter know that one of the reasons we decided to have this exhibit this morning was because we felt that Mother's Day has changed a great deal from its original. Julia Ward Howe established Mother's Day as an International Day of Peace, that no mother wants to see her children sent to war and killed. Well, as we know, that meaning has changed a great deal, where it is plural mothers, and celebrating our political activism on the part of peace. It changed to mother singular, so that we give our mothers flowers, breakfast in bed, brunch, and we forget about all the mothers in the world and all the mothers' children. So this is an attempt to honor the mothers' children who have died, and to try to bring back the original meaning of Mother's Day. That is an International Day of Peace.
I just want to thank you for coming down, and we have Nick Cohen here today, and he is the creator of this exhibit called Honor the Fallen, those U.S. soldiers that have died in Afghanistan and Iraq. And since it's Memorial Day on Monday, we thought it would be appropriate to have this memorial today.
The Honor of the Fallen Memorial includes a photograph and a brief biography of every
every American soldier who has been killed in the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. So far, 1,802 Americans have been killed. This memorial has been exhibited for the past 8 months and has been seen by thousands of people at Union Square Park in New York City, at Columbia University, at Wesleyan University. It's been exhibited in Greenport, in Southampton, and in Garden City, Long Island. We will continue to exhibit this memorial around the country for as long as Americans are deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq.